What's going on, everybody? It's the People's Envoy, Updog, here with you again, and we got our monthly news recap video for you for June. Yes, June is already over with, and we have quite a few people in the voice chat joining me. We got Shamnado Gaming, Darth Ursula, the regulars, Knight of Death, another regular, and Flint's been in. This is I think the second one he's been in. So, welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. Knight, you're here. Wake up. All right. So, the month of May ended with Mephisto getting his buff. Changed some more things with Mephisto, and so now he only gets his extra speed. Oh, here it is. So he gets his extra speed until he has 2 exhausts. If he has 2 exhausts, then he doesn't get this extra 660% speed. What do you guys think of the final, hopefully the final rework for Mephisto?
Don't really care. Doesn't affect me yet.
Okay.
I agree.
Well, as someone that it does affect, so when it comes to Mephisto, I think that it's honestly alright what they did. I think that, you know, as long as he has 2 exhausted, it still makes it so that he can be beaten by pretty much anybody that does have to face him in Crucible and War and things like that. So it makes it not unbeatable, but at the same time it makes it feel like, you know, the investment's worth it, because like Dorm still has value.
Yep.
Ultron does not have value. Flint, Kestrel has value. Like all these other Dark Dimension characters, for the most part, have value.
Right.
So you want them to have that continued value, and the only way they're going to get that is if they're able to, you know, do things like what he can now do.
Right.
So.
Right. All right. Yeah, and luckily with the current Crucible global rules, we can use King of Titania, but I'm not sure if that's going to be possible in the next season. We'll just have to see what the rules are once they come out for that. So, anybody else got any comments on Mephisto?
Are you tired of the same old stale mobile game? Are you sick of the bugs and lack of new content? How about something fresh and exciting?
Well, then let me tell you about a game that has 4 million players, 800 champions, 16 factions, 30 plus bosses, and tons of game modes in case the current game you play is getting stale and lacking content. That's right, I'm talking about Raid Shadow Legends, so make sure to download from my personal link in the description, or you can use my QR code here on the screen. The reviews on the App Store and the Google Play Store are so high you would be shocked. You can play anywhere and across any platform, and you can even play with friends and family in your own clan. Some of the most misunderstood things about Raid are first and foremost that it is only pay to win, but in reality there are tons of free-to-play endgame players that are still able to compete. And another thing, people think that it takes too much time to grind and the rewards aren't worth it. But the fact of the matter is there are quality of life aspects like auto battle that makes it easy to complete tasks. And the third most common complaint is that Raid has no depth. But like I said, there is a lot of content to participate in, and which is very strategic and challenging, which are some of the things that I look for in a game. They also wanted me to mention that now until July 10th, they're doing a giveaway, giving away gaming consoles, smartphones, Amazon gift cards. To participate, they are having a special minigame called Summer Tavern. So if you download using my link or my QR code, and then you go to summertavern.plarium.com and enter your Raid ID and start searching for hidden items, you could have a chance to win those prizes. Also, Raid is giving out a 2-month subscription to YouTube Premium for free. All you have to do is download Raid before July 17th and play for at least 5 days and hit level 20 within 30 days. Then create a Plarium ID and link it to your Raid account. Then navigate to the promotion tab and accept the official rules and privacy notice. After you've done that, you'll receive a 2 free-month trial code from Raid in the events tab right here. And the best part is it works for new and existing players as well, so you do not want to miss out on this. So if you haven't started playing yet, then what are you waiting for? Make sure to click on my link or scan my QR code for a bunch of bonuses. You'll immediately get a huge starter pack with an epic champion from the High Elves faction, which is pretty strong. And you'll get another starter pack after reaching level 25 that includes another epic character. After downloading the game, with my link, also use promo code Summer Tavern to get more silver and other goodies. The promo code is also available for new and existing players, so even if you've already downloaded, make sure to use that promo code. Come find me under my name, Updog2004, of course, and Knights of Updog, the clan, and we will see you in the game.
I think that Mephisto, for being the best character in the game right now, is still too easily beaten in War and in CC.
Have you ever fought a Mephisto, Flynn?
No, but all you do is Cabal, Zemo, and Kingpin. And
In War?
Mephisto.
In War, though?
In CC.
Yeah, in Crucible, yeah.
In CC? So what you're saying is he's easy to beat because you have to use the newest Crucible team to beat him.
Yep.
No. Well,
And
technically, yes.
and maybe we'll find out if the newest Crucible team coming out we'll be able to beat him too. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. I'm sure that'll be coming at some point in the next week or so. So then let's see. Early part of June as well, they temporarily buffed the gold payouts for War to give us, I don't know, it didn't feel like it was too much of an increase for that. What'd you guys think of that?
Sure.
How much was the increase?
I really didn't notice.
Yeah,
Why?
it was like, I don't know, maybe chat can help me out. Maybe Steven,
I
Steven's
have
good
it.
at this
I
kind
have
of stuff.
screenshots of it.
It was like,
Wasn't
oh,
it
you
like
do have a
only
screenshot?
like 2
Okay.
mil?
Yes, I have screenshots.
No, it was like, I don't know, 10 mil or 15 mil or 20 mil or something like that. Oh, it was only 6 mil, Lord Richter? Okay.
Oh yeah. Then there was like 0 difference.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't quite say that. I think
Let's
that,
see. Flint.
you know,
That's
there's a
the
big
old.
difference.
That's the
in
current one,
If you
Flint.
get 6 million or not getting 6 million.
Oh.
Because, like, if you're going through and, you know, you're doing your store buys, because, like, for example, with me and Updog, we're buying things in the store for Crimson Gear, and Crimson Gear is ridiculously fucking expensive.
Yep.
And so, like, I can go through an entire, like, week's worth of, like, war, or 2 weeks worth of war payout for the season in, like, 3 days.
Yeah.
Just buying things that I, like, actively need to get through the city section.
Yep.
So, like, it's not like it's, you know, unnoticeable that you get a difference whenever it's that much.
Right.
I
Like,
screenshotted it at some point.
I think I've been averaging like 7 mil gold per day on Crimson Gear. So
Yeah.
it's been a lot.
Yeah, I guess I don't have it. I thought I
So.
screenshotted it.
So it
can
sounds like
probably
most
find out.
people, it was negligible. I don't know why they don't just keep it, but they did revert back. So
I thought it was good. I even told you.
I think that they reverted back because they initially did it to kind of tide people over from the fact that they took it out of the raid season payout.
oh
There
yeah,
is no more gold in raid season payouts
yeah,
whatsoever.
true, yep.
And that's a problem. Because
Hmm.
now we're used to getting, you know, 10 million gold one week, 15 to 20 the next.
Yeah.
Well, now we're only getting 10 million, or now we're only getting 15 to 20 one week and not 10 million the next.
Right.
You know?
Hmm.
So it feels very different
Right.
in the higher echelon when we're actually spending that much gold in a week.
Yeah. Yep. True. All right. Well, the next thing that happened was they did listen. I'll give them credit on this. They did listen, and they added a 4th lane into the spotlight raids. There was only 3, so there was 8 people trying to do 3 lanes, and we only had up to the second boss node, I guess, the Spider Society boss node at the time. We could only do that, and so adding that 4th lane I thought was good. What did you guys think?
I thought it was complete shit. I don't know why they did it.
Okay. Why
like it.
why didn't you like it?
Because I don't know. Harder to get shit now because I actually have to build up Alpha Flight.
Oh. Okay.
And I don't build war teams.
Well, now they're a raid team too.
It's
No,
a
they're
raid team too.
No, they're not. Don't say that. No,
They got
are
rid
not.
of the raid stuff in their kits.
What do you
Just because
mean?
they have raid in their kit does not make them a raid team. The thing is, right, is that we don't know how long these spotlight raids are going to last, right? And so for now, they are a technical raid team.
Right.
But as soon as the spotlight raids are no longer a thing for Alpha Flight,
Right.
they're not going to be used
True.
in any section of the fucking
Yep.
regular raids. Not fucking one. And I guarantee they're in a higher echelon of raids. If you see someone using Alpha Flight, you're fucking kicking them out of the alliance because they've dropped so many fucking war attacks, like or raid attacks. Like it's just one of those things, man.
Yeah.
They're not a raid team. It has raid in their kit because it allows them to be useful in spotlight raids. Because without it, they wouldn't be able to complete the spotlight raids.
Right. Right. Yeah. Definitely. If this was just a war defense team, a lot of people would have skipped them, and that's not what Scopely wanted. So we don't. Steven in chat saying we don't know yet that Alpha Flight won't be used in the next incursion type raid. That's true. That's true. What they could do is they could take Spider Society out, rotate Alpha Flight to the very beginning of the Spotlight raid, and then the next new team is at the end or whatever. Yep, there you go. Look, Lord Richter said exactly the same thing. Yep. All right. Anybody else got anything on that topic? All right, fair enough. So
You know what topic we want to talk about.
Yep, we'll get to that. So next up was they came out with some Pride milestones for each week, which I can't remember. Maybe Steven remembers. I don't think they've ever actually done this like a weekly milestone like this before. And I know they always like to do something for Pride Month, which is great. But I personally, I mean, they're really easy to get, really easy to complete. Get some good, you get some Crimson gear, get other stuff that other level players need. So overall, I thought they were pretty good milestones. What'd you guys think?
I wouldn't say the milestones, it's the orbs. I actually get more gold out of those orbs than I do mega gold orbs.
Yeah, the orbs are pretty good too. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's sad. That's extremely sad.
I mean, so
Yeah.
as someone with two different sized accounts, I have a unique perspective.
Okay.
And for my big account, I love it, right? Free Crimson gear, less I have to buy Crimson gear for with gold, yada yada.
Right.
However, on my baby account, I forget, it wasn't this past week, I was able to do this past week, but the week before, I didn't have access to how late in, I think it was the heroes section, the node was.
Oh, okay.
And so my baby account wasn't able to do that. And then obviously, like, I don't have these teams built,
Right.
or half the times even have the characters for these teams. So I wasn't able to blitz with enough teams to actually get that one either. So I wasn't able to get any that week.
Yikes.
So I think that for the most part, because I have a pretty small account, like it's a less than a month active account.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like, I love the fact that they did an event that was very easy to complete
Yep.
for at least 90% of the community.
Yeah.
That it gave you decent rewards, that it wasn't like monetized in any way, shape, or form. It just felt like a genuine, like,
Right.
you know what? Here's this loot because, you know, it's that time. We need to celebrate this
Yeah.
group of people.
Yep.
I think that the orbs are good. I'm just still curious how my Dakin was chosen.
I
It
think
was new when it first started.
yeah. And I don't think his release method, I can't remember exactly what it was. It wasn't an arena one. So I didn't get a lot of shards from his event. I didn't buy a character off or anything, so I was happy to get more Dakin shards.
I agree with what Sham said. The rewards were really good for majority of players,
Yeah.
excluding some of the newer ones.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that, Flint or Sham, about how you said that, you know, some of the nodes were a little harder to get to for newer players. That kind of sucks, but Lord Richter in the
Yeah.
chat is saying it used to be for Pride Month. You would spend 10 cores to get an offer and a calendar. The treasure hunt that they did this year was better and no cores used. Yeah, definitely. Like Dart said, the the orbs were pretty good. Usually every time they use this type of orb, the image for it or whatever, the pride heart, the orbs are really usually pretty good. So, all right. Next up is gonna be. Oh, so I guess kind of along the same with the Pride milestones, there was an issue where they did have a web milestone or a web claim for one of the gems that you had to get. And some people, I guess, I don't know, some people don't go on the Webstore, I guess, and they don't do their free claims, which make sure you get in on the Webstore if you're not already and doing those free claims. But some people had a problem because they don't go into the web store, so they weren't able to get the gem. Was that an issue for you, Sham, with your baby account, or?
So I don't really use the web store on my baby account, but it wasn't like a super big issue. I think that, and I just do that because I just don't feel like signing out and signing back in 1,000 times. But the thing is, right, is if you want to be like competitive in this game in any way, shape, or form, like even at like the mid-tier level,
Right.
you have to get your free claims.
Yeah.
Like, you know, for especially like week-long events where they have, you know, getting points for each orb fragment you get, and there's
Right.
1,000 orb fragments up for grabs every day. That's 7,000 orb fragments, 7,000 milestone points.
Yep.
That's a huge deal, especially
Yeah.
whenever we're only getting like, you know, for example, for the on guard for thee, we only got 95,000 points.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I didn't get any of my web claims, then I'd be 7,000 less. I probably wouldn't even get milestone 15.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you have to claim your web store's free claims,
Right.
and if you don't complete milestones.
Right.
It is what it is. I had no remorse for the people that didn't pick the free claim and didn't progress in the coming out milestone. No remorse.
Yeah. Well, it also helps too, like especially if they have like a leaderboard event like this here. Those free claims can definitely, if you're a newer player or mid-game player, that can make the difference between like a 26 to 50% or 11 to 25% if you don't get the free claims. So.
And the other thing too is that it's a good thing because everywhere that the game is available to play, you can access the web store from that device. So if it's an iPhone or an Android, you can access the web store from the internet on that.
Yep.
So
Yep.
if you're able to play the game, you're able to access the web store. It's not like, you know, it's one of those, like, it's not like it's a console game and if like you don't have a phone or a computer, you can't, you know, do it. It's not like that. If it was like that, I'd have remorse and I'd feel bad for whoever missed out on it. But because of the fact that it's simply just due to the fact that whoever missed out on it
Yeah.
didn't get to the web store that day, like,
Right.
sorry, not sorry, man. Like,
Yep.
they literally made it a free claim. Like, could not
Mhm.
have made it any easier for you.
Yeah, Steven made a good point though. The event runs for over the whole weekend, but the free claim was only for one day, so that was kind of a mistake on Scopely's part too.
I mean, I guess they could have given you, like, you know, made it active for like 2 days. Like
Yeah, 2 days,
how they
yep.
do some of the claims where like they're active for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
But like even at the end of the day, like you should be checking every day. Like,
True.
should
Yep.
not be skipping days for free claims.
Yep. True.
No remorse.
So the next thing that happened was we're in the middle of June already. There was not a lot of news topics in June, so we're gonna get through most of the month here pretty quick. But for Father's Day, we got some shards for Peter B. Parker. So I thought that was a nice little thing, and a big shout out to Bendable Straws because he was actually the one that was kind of gave them that idea. He's like, because we got some kind of free stuff for Mother's Day, and he had asked like, hey, are we getting anything for Father's Day? And they're like, well, no, we weren't planning on it. And so he's like, why not some Peter B. Parker shards? And so then they made it happen. So that was pretty nice. Pretty nice that
So
they
I do
did
have
that.
something that I would like to add on to this.
Sure.
Okay, and I'm gonna be as delicate as I can when I say this.
Okay.
But they're planning not to do that is eye-opening.
Yeah.
Because not only was it Father's Day, but it's also, while it is Pride Month and everyone deserves to be recognized, it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month as well. In case anyone didn't know,
No, I didn't know that.
Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Hmm.
So the fact that for Mother's Day, because everyone loves moms.
Yep.
I mean, shoot, I really love moms. But on Mother's Day, they gave shards or whatever they gave, right?
Yep.
But for Father's Day, in Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, they weren't going to give us anything.
Yeah.
That's I don't like that. Now
Yeah.
the fact that Bendy went out on his limb and made that, like, props to Bendy.
Yeah.
But that should have been, like, planned.
I
Like,
agree. I agree.
They shouldn't have a thing where it's like, oh well, you know, moms deserve to be recognized but not dads.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
regardless of the fact that it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, but
Right.
you know, like, they both are instrumental in not only the creation of but the raising of children.
Exactly. Yep. They gave fathers the greatest gift of all, logging in. Good point. Good point,
keep in
Steven.
mind that not only have they just introduced the first, not like the first father in the game, but like the first, like, you can actively see the child
Yeah.
father.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
On top of that, one of their biggest envoys is Dorky Dad.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Mhm.
a father. That's his shtick.
Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm. True. True.
Like, it's really, I think, embarrassing that they didn't think to add something in until they were asked.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything on that?
So, I don't think this is exact Reddit post I found earlier,
Okay.
but there was one where it was complaining about how Father's Day, like how much Mother's Day got.
Yeah.
Father's Day was stiff. And I completely agree.
Right.
Because if you look at the past Mother's Day, they've gotten way more
Right.
than 10 shards. Like, that's all Father's Day got, was the 10 shards.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the Marble Moms tag is still active in the game too. It
Oh,
is.
let's go check it out.
And it was... and
Yeah,
it
it's
said
still
that it
active.
would only be out for a short amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the dads got a quick Rumble Blitz either, did they? So I know the
Yeah.
Mother's
And there's
Day one they
plenty,
did.
like,
but...
just off the top of my head, like, you know, you've got Green Goblin is technically a father.
Yeah.
You've got Doom is a father.
Quicksilver, right? Isn't he a dad?
Vulture's a father. I don't think he's a dad. I don't know.
This
Um,
log that I have...
Thanos is a dad.
Yeah.
You know,
Guardian.
like,
The problem is you're
Like,
naming all these villains, Sham.
Red Guardian is not a villain.
Thor is a father
Red Guardian,
technically
true.
Now. Hulk is a
yeah,
father.
Thor is technically a father.
Cyclops, Mr. Fantastic.
Yep.
Like, you
Yeah.
have these dads, but they opted out. And
Yeah.
it's just disappointing. I don't
Iron
know.
Man.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, like, is it the biggest deal in the entire game right now? Absolutely not. But
No.
we'll get to that in a minute. But at the end of the day, like, you know, it's all about, you know, being all inclusive.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
they have the, you know, Pride Month,
Yep.
great rewards. Everyone feels, you know, involved in, you know, recognizing this group of people. Same thing with Mother's Day. I think for Juneteenth they gave us a frame.
Yep.
But then, like, whenever it comes to Father's Day, they have to be specifically asked if we're getting anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of embarrassing.
Right. True.
Wolverine is also a dad. All right, that's the last one.
How about you, Darth? You're a dad. What did you think?
I think it was total BS, and just like Shane was saying, he pretty much just summed it up all in one.
Yeah.
They go out of their way for Mother's Day, and then Father's Day, they pretty much just shit on us. Like, oh, who cares? Even though, you know, I'm pretty sure 70%, maybe that's a lot. Maybe 60 to 65% of this game are dads playing this game.
Yeah. Yeah. The next thing that happened was that T4 ability materials got updated for raids, and then they replaced raid credits in the raid season milestones. Instead of, like, there was gear orbs and stuff, so they put the raid credits in there instead. So have you guys noticed, like, any kind of difference with the T4s that you guys have been getting?
Yes.
Yes, I've been able
Yeah.
to get a lot more T4s a lot quicker.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been liking the T4 economy lately. Like just right now, I have 1,500.
Nice.
So if
Nice.
you're good to be, if I need to, like, for example, Spider Slayer, you know, or not Spider Slayer, Craven, right? I'm bringing him into Dark Dimension 7.
Uh-huh.
If I want him to be like a little bit bigger, I could P4 as basic, if I really wanted to, because I don't have the need, to like hoard them, you know.
Yep,
So it
true.
feels good.
So Knight, you said you've seen a good increase too?
Yeah,
Been able to...
I've been able to T4 a lot of T4s that I wasn't gonna do
Nice.
until later down the road, but I'm able to do.
Nice. Okay. How about you, Darth? Noticing any difference there?
I'm stacking more
Good.
because unfortunately, with the new raid team coming out, I'm saving all of my stuff for that, so I can instantly get them up to G18 all T4, so I
Gotcha.
can, be somewhat competitive in Crucible.
Nice. Nice.
So I think I'm sitting at like 1600.
Cool. All right, awesome. Then the same day, they came out with another blog, basically promoting different envoys, save squads, which I thought was really cool. I didn't know that was happening, but it was really cool to see that they are actually like still kind of actively promoting the envoys in different ways. Did any of you guys use the codes at all?
Yes.
Nope. The only one I use
Because
is
my
Pathfinder's
save
Four.
squads for Blitz they always win, so.
Gotcha.
I combined it, I believe, Pathfinder, Dorothy's, and Valley Flying before, and then I took Dulom CC.
Nice.
And Updog kept pointing out that they had wrong positioning, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, the only one that I use is Pathfinder's Blitz.
Nice. Okay.
But I will say that the input codes were useful because I didn't really know like what war teams to be using. Like I never really took the time to put them into a save, so it definitely helped.
Nice. Cool. Diamond Dave, are you saying that you took some of the save squads too? Lord Richter said he did not. But yeah, I thought it was cool. They did say they're going to rotate different envoys codes throughout the year or something. Every so often they'll put out a new blog saying, hey, go check out Mobile Gamers squads or whatever. So
I think that for like the newer players, it's great because it gives them a reason to check these content creators out. You know,
Right.
they go in, they're like, hey, I have these characters, I don't know what the fuck to do with these guys, and then you make squads for them,
Yep.
and they go, hey, like I've been using a lot of Updog squads. Let me check out some of his content.
Yeah, there you
It's all about like giving them the ability to reach out to the newer players. Because like players like me, I'm not going to use save squads.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I make my own squads. I know
Right.
what I need to do. I know how the teams work, things
Right.
like that. Now for
Right.
war, I kind of just fucking, throw it to the wind and let Updog tell me what to use and then blame him whenever it doesn't go well. But
Yep.
it's, for the most part, I'm making my own squads. But for the new players that, don't quite know what they're doing, and it also gives you that exposure, I think it's a great thing.
Right.
I don't see any real negative.
It's kind of like having a better version of Jarvis, right? With that.
Jarvis sucks.
So yeah.
Jarvis uber sucks.
All right. Then let's see. June 25th, they came out with another blog. So they are shifting a little bit of their communication. They're trying to keep the Friday blog just related to like upcoming events and stuff, and maybe like if there's a last minute announcement that they have to make, they'll put it in the Friday blog. But they're trying to shift to more like announcement type stuff in other blogs throughout the rest of the week. So one of those was they are updating the time heist offers, which the price point is a lot better, I thought. I don't have that information. This is the old time heist here, but the price point was a lot better. The characters that you get are a lot better, but I think some of the resources that's the reason why they lowered the price, is because they took out some of the resources here, like I don't know exactly what it was they took out, but they definitely lowered a lot of this stuff down here. But still, on paper, it looks pretty good. Did you guys see any of that? Like, did you guys follow that at all when they announced that?
Yes, and I love it.
Love it. Nice.
Yeah, because I'm gonna get the 95 one
Uh-huh.
and be able to do a lot of things with it.
Yeah. Oh, Diamond Dave says
So,
A+++ for the time heist. Nice.
As someone who bought all of the original time heists, I like the changes.
Uh-huh.
I think that they're positive. I would need to... Here, I've got it pulled up now. So, level 95, 12 million gold, 1,200 L4 training modules, whatever, 1.2 million gear credits, whatever the fuck that means.
Probably the raid credits, maybe? Or maybe it's the purple gear credits? The, like this... let's see, this thing right here. This right here. I think that's what that is.
Oh, is that what those are called?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
3,000 silver promos is useless. 1,000 gold promos is useless. 5 elite 6 orbs is okay. 6 million T1 ions and 3 million T2 level 1 ions. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think that the main way that they're making it now max 40 is great. I think that what they could do is do time heist offers for like bigger accounts, but not that'll bring like characters and shit like that.
Right.
Instead, it brings it to the where you can get resources. So like if I'm level 100, right, I can get like a $50 offer that's got like tons of resources, but I can only get it once. You know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I've got like an excess of resources, but at the same time, it makes it like it's one time, right? Because like 20 million gold, 100,000 training, whatever. Like it was nice whenever I first had that, but like it's long gone now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But if they were to, I think they could capitalize financially here in Scopely. This is, you know, where you guys should pay attention because I'm teaching you how to make money. If instead, I mean, obviously throw these out there, right? For players that want to like buy their way up, cool.
Yeah.
Because if you do the math, it's 3 plus 10 is 13, plus 20 is 33, plus 30 is 63, plus 40 is $143. You can go from level 10 all the way up to level 95.
Yeah.
Have a ton of stuff, cool. It catches you up. Makes your account semi-relevant. If they did the same like kind of thing with like different level supply caches, right? They could do like supply cache offers, and it's like a cache of supplies. It's like massively discounted. You can only get it once per account. They would make buku amounts of money.
Right. Yep.
Buku
Agreed.
amounts. As long as it was like obviously a fair number. But like, because if they try charging like $100 for like 5 million gold, some training, there's no one's gonna fucking buy that.
Right.
But if they make it worth everyone's time, I mean, even like low level spenders are gonna be like, all right, I can shell out $40 for like this massive supply of shit. I can do that, and they'll make so much money.
Yeah. True. Darth, you bought the time heist in the past. What do you think of the changes? Anybody else got any?
I was muted.
Oh,
I was muted.
gotcha.
I'm indifferent about it. Am I salty about it? A little, because you know it was the $100 one.
Yeah.
But I feel that the supply, the mats and everything that I got with the $100 one, I mean, it had more stuff than the stuff you can get for the $40 one. So
yeah.
It to each his own.
Right.
I think there was more characters too.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But yeah, so I guess for the difference, there really is technically no like price difference, because like I was saying, that I got more stuff with the $100 one than I would with the $40. Yeah, I'm unlocking characters, but
IO
I'd much
series
rather
you
have
just
the
followed.
materials than the character.
Sense. Cerisi, thank you for the follow. We're talking about all the news topics that happened in June, so make sure to jump in the chat, and if you have something to say. So we are recording this live on Twitch, and so if that is something that you don't mind doing, watching things live, then I'm on majority of the time I'm on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Central. Just depends on if I have stuff going on with the family if I don't make it, but I'm usually, especially on Crucible nights, I'm around. But anybody else on the time heist? Anything else to say on those? All right, well, we will go on to the next one then. Flint was so kind to remind me that the next day after these time heist things were announced, that Dulom was another Envoy. You know, he won the first Envoy Crucible tournament. He was able to reveal that for the new season for Crucible, Season 9, since he won the tournament, he was able to get a room. Basically, he had some input in making the room, and they are calling it Dulom's Destruction, which actually was a name that I had suggested. Because I had thrown out a couple of names, like, oh, you should call it Dulom's Doldrums or Dulom's Destruction, and they went with Dulom's Destruction. So that's kind of cool. So he wasn't able to share what the room actually does, but it's pretty cool that he got his input on the rules and named the room after him. So I think they're gonna do that, going forward for other tournaments that they have. The winner gets to have that as kind of like a little prize, like get your name in the game. So that's pretty cool. And then also that same day, actually a couple more things that same day, they updated the Spotlight raid orbs already, which I was pretty shocked they did that. They added Cosmic Ghost Rider in there. Now, the only reason why I think they did it, though, this is my tinfoil hat theory here, is because they also needed to make Black Knight farmable, and I think that was kind of a last minute thing. They're like, oh crap, we gotta make him farmable too. Because I think they may have forgotten or something, because he was already in the premium orb. And so they put Black Knight in the Crucible store. And I think Cosmic Ghost Rider was originally going to go in there. And then they put Cosmic Ghost Rider in the raid orb, so I'm glad they did that. Already updated it. They already updated the other shards that you get too, so that was nice. What'd you guys think of that change?
I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot he was in there. Because again,
there you
I
go.
really don't do war teams.
Yeah. Well, he's used for for Old Man Logan.
Yeah, I got him to 7 and starting Act 2 just because I was able to. Because now, whenever I go in the frickin' thing, if I'm able to get a ball up to 7, then I'm just gonna absolutely shit on the nodes. But
yeah.
I mean, I think it's nice. It makes the availability open. Now that the event has passed for Old Man Logan, they are able to now make it more available for more free-to-play players to get this team to 5 or maybe even 6,
Right.
along with their cabal to get in there and really make some moves.
Right. Yep. Well, Darth, you better start cracking those orbs open. But the nice thing is
for Old Man Logan.
Yep.
I mean, sure.
And Andy's used in Crucible with a nice counter that I came up with Secret Defenders. So
when it works.
Yeah, that means you have to get a big Cosmic Ghost Rider, and that's how you do it right there.
It has a 90% success rate.
As long as they
Yeah.
don't have a 3 diamond gear 19 Noir, you're good.
Yeah,
You're solid.
exactly. Yep. And Diamond Dave brings up a
Is basically what I'm saying.
Diamond Dave brings up a good point in the chat here. He says he doesn't even open the orbs, which is fine to do if you have all the characters maxed. I didn't open any when Void Knight was in there because I already had him maxed. So it's nice that you can kind of save them up and then open them up like I did when they add in a new character that you don't have maxed yet. So
I don't even have Void Knight.
you don't
Yeah,
have
I like counted it out.
you don't have Void
too.
Knight maxed.
I mapped it out so I would have like it open exactly enough to get him 7.
Oh, nice.
Kind of nice.
Yeah.
So
Well-
I got Void Knight at 7 stars the day before they added.
Oh. Well, he's still in this orb, so yeah. I mean, you'll still get him. You still could get him.
It's just not
if you open
guaranteed.
him. Yeah, it's just not a guarantee yet or now anymore. So. All right. So the same day, they reported that there was a bug, and I don't think I made a video on this. I did, kind of did. I didn't make it when the bug was first reported, but there was a bug with Northstar and his passive, and in war he prevents charges, I believe. And when he was going up against like a Bucky Barnes from the Invaders or Union Jack, then they would just get infinite amount of turns because of how the interaction works with Northstar's passive, and you could counter a full Alpha Flight team with just like Bucky Barnes, Kestrel, and Union Jack or something like that, something ridiculous like that. So they did get that fixed. They got that fixed pretty quick. It was like maybe like 2 or 3 business days, something like that it took them. So that was good. And they also fixed Northstar's speed mechanic, where it used to be somebody had to take a turn before he would get some extra speed here. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Gain 25% speed. So somebody had to take a turn first before he would give the extra speed. And so that meant that he wasn't going first on the team. He has a buff flip and revive removal and a bunch of stuff that is really nice to have go off on turn, or like being the first character to go. So they did fix that too. Any comments on those changes, guys?
I don't use Alpha Flight, so no.
All right.
Him changing, I think, was kind of annoying to me at first because, like, at first I was able to counter him with certain things, and now that he actually gets that speed on spawn, it's a little different. But
Yeah.
it's fine. I
Yeah.
adjust.
Yep.
I adjust, adapt, and overcome. It is what it is. But something that I would like to point out about Northstar, right,
Mhm.
is his ult is unavoidable.
Yep.
Which means that, for perfect example, if you see a Dorm Extreme team on defense in Crucible,
Yep.
right, if you bring in Secret Defenders, they're not going to take the revives.
Right.
Because it gets dodged. If you
Right.
bring in Northstar, he will take those fucking revives because it's unavoidable.
Yep.
So just remember that you've got that. But he only, I believe, takes it
Oh wait.
on the ult. Does he only take the?
Yeah,
no, he does it
that's-
on as soon as he has it. I meant on the T4.
On
On
the
the T4 though,
T4.
he extends everything.
Yeah.
Except for stun, trauma, and ability block.
Yep.
So. But yeah, he's got some viability
Yep.
for
For
at
sure.
least a few months.
For sure. Yep. All right. Darth is coming right back, so we'll wait because we are right at the last. Well, we can talk about this last one here, right before the big hot button issue. So
Nuclear issue, you
this
mean?
is a little bit out of order, but we'll do it anyway. So with the new, I hate calling it war season because we already have a term for war season. That's every 2 weeks we have a war season ranking, you know. But
Yeah.
there's War Spotlight. I don't know what to call it. So basically, the buffs for Hero Spider-Verse and City Heroes and stuff, which is happening right now. When that started up, they took away the offensive buff that you get for having war ready characters. You got 20% buffs, 20% stats for your war ready characters on offense. They took that away. So they announced just a couple of days ago that they are going to be bringing that back starting tomorrow, July 1st. So yeah, I'm glad. I did have a lot of people complain about that, but I also I've seen a lot of people say this spotlight, whatever you want to call it, this part of war right now, these rules people are really liking it. So
They should shut up.
what do you? Sham doesn't agree. Why don't you agree, Sham?
So, for the people who know who I am, I like Crucible.
Right.
I love it.
Mhm.
Sometimes. We'll get into the sometimes in a minute. But for War, I've always just like disliked it, but I've been able to tolerate it because my characters didn't feel useless going into these teams.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Because these teams are getting like crazy fucking buffs being on defense.
Yeah. Yeah. Big time.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah.
And then you go and say, you know what? I don't think the offense teams need anything. And you're just like, excuse the fuck out of me, sir, but I think that we do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know? Because in Crucible, it's a level playing field.
Right.
In War, even with 20% stat boost, it's not a level playing field. It's more a gentle acuity.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I'm not like, you know, I don't really super enjoy War, I can tolerate it whenever I don't feel like I'm getting my fucking dick stomped into the dirt. Because I don't have these 20% bonuses. And I'm sorry for the colorful language, but this is sham. So, whenever, you know, I'm going into these attacks, if I have no buffs, I'm fucked. Screwed.
Yeah.
Getting caboodled.
Yeah.
I can't do anything, you know?
Yep.
And then, like, I'm trying to get Updog to help me out a little bit with these war attacks, but then frickin' he tells me, oh, yeah, that should work, and then it doesn't because apparently my teams aren't strong enough, even though it's,
Yeah.
like, only a 2 million punch-up because that's a fucking thing now. So, you know?
Yep.
Like, I'm sure that in the earlier, like, mid-game levels of War, it's fine because, you know, everyone's around the same level anyway. But, like, me and Updog, dude, we're fighting, like, almost 5 million spider societies
Yeah.
and shit. And we're just like, here's my 2.5 million fucking mercs that are almost not making it. Like, what?
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
So,
you would think that, but actually at the lower levels, those guys are playing people that are like our size or bigger and that just aren't as good, and they're getting the same thing. They're getting the same treatment, dude. Like, but worse, honestly, because like you're gonna be as big as some of your opponents, whereas like they'll be facing people where the largest person on their alliance is smaller than the smallest person on their opposing alliance by like half.
Yeah.
my baby account hasn't unlocked War yet, so I can't really speak to all that.
Oh, you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat.
Yeah, nope, fuck that.
Yeah.
But like seriously though, because I've been contemplating with this next issue. I'll bring this up in more depth, but typically I was gonna stick with the Crucible thing, but with what's about to possibly be coming, like I might be switching to War, right? But if I have if I'm not getting these 20% buffs, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stand it.
Right. Knight, how about you?
'Cause I'm not a half bad
Oh,
player.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Champ.
No, I was just saying because I want to point out that I'm not a half bad player. Updog will even tell you. Even in
Yeah.
War, I don't suck. Like I get over
Yeah.
100 million every War, but
Yep.
like
He
it's
doesn't like
still
it.
Fucking pain.
He doesn't like it, but he's
No,
not a
I don't
half
like
bad
it.
player.
It's like pulling the fucking teeth, and I make sure that Updog is actively there every single time I'm doing my War attack, so he can hear how much I don't like what I'm doing.
Yep.
But it's all in good spirit. though.
One of
I
the
love
perks
it.
of being Sham's leader, I guess.
Yeah, he did tell me I didn't have to build Alpha Flight though, so make sure you guys find an alliance leader like my guy.
Knight, how about you? Are you Are you like? Does it matter to you about this or the extra buffs?
Well, in my alliance, because I'm part of, or I'm one of the lower
Right.
TCP
Right.
guys.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing I do in war is if there's, say, a shield team, like really weak teams, that's the things I go after.
Yeah.
Because I'm
So
paying
you
to
like-
still get them.
You
I'm
like
basically
Buzzard. You like Buzzard for cleanups and like the smaller
Yes.
teams, so that like the bigger accounts don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
not like the cleanup, but to deal with smaller teams that they don't want to deal with.
Yeah. That's how we
I'm
used to
in
do
an
it.
I'm in an alliance with OG Diamond Dave's middle account, and I go for the 1.5 million size teams. and
Right.
leave the 3 million teams or 2 million teams to him and Corbett.
Right.
But I dropped an attack to MOE the other day. I mean, if we had the war buffs, maybe I would have won. It was
Yep.
going well, then Kang ulted and it just went horrible.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that if we had the war buffs, I would have won that match. Like,
Yep.
it's definitely has its pros and cons, but I kind of like it because it makes the game more interesting. And
Yeah.
you have to see a lot more detail.
Yeah. Gotcha. Let's see.
I think there's definitely a difference between paying attention to detail of the attacks and like the fact that there's a 2.5 million punch up that should never be a thing if my team's almost 3 million.
Yeah.
At least not where we're at in the game now. Like once level like 110 comes out, like gear tier 21 is here, like sure. 2.5 million punch ups, I can fucking see it. It's Christmas morning. I get it. Krakens need to spend, but fuck, man, it's not. I'm level 100 just like this guy.
Mm-hmm.
My team is fucking gear 19 just like this fucking guy.
Yep.
But his is 2.5 attacks. Whoa, man, whoa.
Yep. Exactly.
'Cause the scaling is the issue.
Yeah. True. Yep. Definitely. See, so Lord Richter in the chat saying, I prefer the heavy defense. It makes more theory crafting for offense. So, yep, that's definitely fair.
Yeah.
They need
I'm just saying.
they need different rules and number of rooms for higher leagues of war, like more in Crucible. Boundless said they can't do it, but it would make war. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, if there were like 24 different rooms and each room did something differently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like everyone's defenses mattered, you know?
Right. Yep.
Mhm.
I think that would be pretty cool. Like anything that's like plat 2 or above gets that. I think that would be fucking sick.
Yeah. Yep. Diamond Dave says it really hurt lower end alliances. They had solved counters they thought they knew, and it all stopped working. Yeah. Yeah, especially with like the infestation and Spider Society. The elephant in the room. So
The fucking nuclear option.
okay, so Scopely announced the Illuminati team, and with it is a 6-person team, not shown here as Hank Pym. But Captain Britain here is going to be an epic character, which they're just creating that tag now, which basically means they're not a normal character release. And in this case, for Captain Britain, he's going to unlock if you have essentially you'll need a 5 yellow Shuri, 5 yellow star Shuri, and a 5 yellow star Hank Pym, the 2 new characters, plus 2 other Illuminati characters at 5 yellow stars as well. That's how you unlock him. And I know a lot of people are very upset about this. So we will spend the rest of this video talking about, anything related to Illuminati. So I'll let Darth take it off, go first, and kick us off, and then we'll go from there.
If it wasn't for the fact that they're a Crucible team, I wouldn't give 2 shits. The
Okay.
fact that they are a Crucible team, and that is the main source of diamonds, or diving credits, I think it's total complete horse doo-doo.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it PG.
I'm not. Fuck this shit.
It's retarded of them They are going to lose so many players over this, especially if this is a new class epic. You definitely know this ain't the last time they're going to do this.
Right.
The economy, the player base is already starting to drop off because of the way they're going to the legendary spot. This is just going to further, and the reason why they're probably doing this is because they're losing so many players. So they're like, let's force people to spend money so we can get our income back. And they're going to kill the game.
Yep.
Absolutely kill it. Because, in my opinion, if you don't have Captain Britain, what's the fucking point of getting the Illuminati?
Yeah, that's kind of why they did the 6-person team, because Iron Man does some of the things that Captain Britain does, but Captain Britain has a very important line in his passive. It's just for Crucible. It's only for Crucible, luckily, but it's nobody on the field, nobody in battle can gain or lose turn meter. So,
Yeah,
pretty important, impactful passive.
Yeah, it's retarded. It's the team won't function. I think they will be complete shit without Captain Britain.
All right, definitely a fair point.
Like they won't be a Cabal. They won't be a Superior 6. I'm sorry.
True. Yep. Okay. Sham?
I'm gonna get off the soapbox and let Sham go.
Sham, are we sure we want to do me next?
Yep.
I've got quite a bit for this.
Here, let me actually cover what chat is saying real quick before it gets too far up. So Lord Richter's saying no one wants to hear this, but Ultra Cores for the first time has been in the store has been increased. The reason why is they need to make more money for investors. So like Darth was saying, and MSF Scopely has pissed off their investors for not making certain profit margins. So that, in his opinion, is the reason why this Captain Britain paywall. So definitely a fair point as well. And yes, and yeah, we did mention 00 gold. Yeah, they will be required for the next legendary, and my assumption is the nodes for the trial will be tuned around having Captain Britain. We did bring that up in the Envoy program.
Captain Britain,
about
not for me.
Thank you, Flint. We did bring that up about the nodes for the legendary event. They were going to look more into it because they haven't even started doing that balancing yet. And then also the fact that you get a Captain Britain, when you unlock him, you only get 3 yellow stars, and they're not sure if they want to keep the 5 yellow star requirement for the legendary event, or if they're going to drop that this time because of this release method, because this is an experiment for them, they've said. So yeah. So
Right.
Sham, go ahead.
So obviously, whenever this first comes, no one wants to have to spend money on this game unless they're a crack, right? So everyone's going to try to find a way, whenever these characters come out, to make them useful at a free-to-play level, right? I mean, all the content creators do it. It is what it is. However, with this team, one of the characters, specifically the linchpin of the team for Crucible, is paywalled completely. It's not like it's, he's paywalled because he's not good until he's 6 stars. No, it's not like that. It's you don't get the motherfucker without spending money.
Yeah.
Now, the question, right, would be how much money, okay? And they have 2 ways of doing this. If it's a regular release method for every other character, like there's not like an increase in shards because it's a 5-star requirement to get them,
Right.
you will need to spend to get 130 shards.
Actually, it's a 310. 130 is just from 4 to 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that, keeping in mind, if it's like a regular release, where typically free-to-play gets a 4-star on the character if they're highly involved. So you would need to buy 130 shards for each character that is released monetarily. Obviously, you don't need to do that for the ones that we already have with Reed Richards and Iron Man, but for Hank Pym, Shuri, you'll need to do that.
Yep.
get fucked. Commander, right?
Yep.
That will run you decent chunk of money, and then on top of that, like Updog was saying, you only get him at 3 stars. Is he going to be useful in the next legendary event? All those different kinds of things.
Right.
Then that opens up another question, as questions often do, of what does this next legendary character do?
Right.
Old Man Logan is a war-based character. Although he's good as fuck everywhere, I don't think they're going to do that again, because it's kind of going to be like the Horseman, I think, where like Archangel is good as fucking raids, like his section of the raids.
Yeah.
Like raids ago, but
Right.
he's not good really anywhere else. He has a little bit of viability, but not much.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of going to be what it's like. You know that?
Yeah.
Old Man Logan, I feel like, was the Morgan Le Fay of fucking the guys coming out.
True.
But the thing is, if it's an arena team, right? If he makes it so, if like this legendary character makes it so that it shakes up the entire arena meta. Okay, so now you're telling me that you're not only paywalling Crucible, because this team is going to be unbeatable on Crucible defense without this team. Sorry to tell you, but it is.
Yep.
So, the thing is if it paywalls Crucible, sure, a lot of people don't really like Crucible anyway. I think the community could survive it. But if it also paywalls that legendary, who's used for any other game mode aside from Crucible, it's going to be a much bigger problem than we are giving it credit for. Now, I understand that Krakens obviously want their money to be worth something, right? They're tired of people like Zero and Pat beating their fucking asses black and blue because they spend like a normal person and like get the character just unlocked half the time, if they're even going to spend on the character, and then they outsmart these fucking people.
Yeah.
That's why they buffed Mephisto. That's why they're fucking doing this, all this other kind of shit. But if they make it so that the only way to even participate is to spend, the Krakens are going to have a couple of weeks where sure, they kick everybody's ass and they feel fucking good and they get their rocks off, but then they're just going to be fighting each other and not being able to clear each other, and it's going to feel just as bad in 3 weeks.
Definitely.
Because people like me and Zero and Pat and fucking Juicy that are like close or in the top 200 that don't spend a fuck ton on this game. Now, granted, I just said I spent 22 grand, but in the last like year and a half, I've spent maybe $1,000, maybe $1,000. So it's gonna kick us out, and then we don't really feel the drive to go for top 200 anymore. I'm probably gonna try in Crucible, but if I see a fucking team like that, I already know I've lost for the day, so I'm just gonna fucking go in and have fun, whatever. Yeah. But it's gonna make it so that game mode, they're gonna be fighting each other anyway, and then in Arena, they're gonna be fighting each other there for that too anyway. They're not gonna be actually facing us anymore.
Right.
So then the Krakens are gonna complain that they can't beat other Krakens. And then it's gonna become an offense-only meta. And it's just, the game is gonna devolve. It's gonna become a problem. But if they make it so that we can get Shuri and Hank and fucking, those are the only two that are coming out that are the new ones, right? Yeah. If we can get them 5-star free to play, and they make the new standard that we get characters at 5-star free to play, that's great. It makes it so that free to play players are now more involved in the end game, because characters in the end game are only really useful after 5 stars. It makes it so that, you know, free to play and even mid spenders, maybe those mid spenders are like, oh shit, I'm super close to 6 now. I used to only really buy up to 5. I'm going to buy a little bit extra, get up to 6. Fuck it. Let's go. You know, this feels great. Krakens, whenever these people buy these, or whenever people get these characters at just 3, I guarantee you that Updog should be able to tell us whether or not a 3 yellow star and a fucking 7 red star or Captain Britain behave differently. But,
yes.
like,
Big
you know,
difference.
I guarantee you that on defense, a 3-star Captain Britain is not half bad to fight. But a 7-star is going to fuck you anally, like, the whole way. Just Riley your read. He's going to fuck you. You're done.
Yep.
So, it makes it so that if we're getting these characters at just 3 stars, free to play, cool. I at least got the character, I can at least play with the character, and in my zone of spending, I can play the game.
Yep.
Krakens have an easy way to beat people that don't spend. Because they get the motherfucker at 7 anyway.
True.
So everyone is happy in that case. But if they don't do it that way, and they make it so that only spenders get this character, I think Updog was telling me that people are already leaving in droves, and they haven't even, like, they've said they've made their final decision, but let's be honest, it's Scopely. Until it's in the fucking game, it's not a final decision.
True.
They still do have time to adjust these character release events and all the different kind of stuff. They have the time. They
Yep.
have the ability to save their game. But I'm telling you that once it hits the game, if people that, like, are even just, like, low-level spenders aren't able to get this character, they're gonna stop fucking caring, and they're not gonna spend at all anymore. And then the game is gonna go into a fucking pay-to-play thing, and then people are gonna stop playing.
Yeah. I could see that happening.
Because I know that people have threatened to quit before, but, like, there's a big difference between threatening to quit because they take away some rewards and threatening to quit because the hero collector game, you can't collect the character.
Yep.
Huge difference. And Scopely, please, I'm telling you, you've got to pay attention to this specific issue. I just lined out a way for you to appease Krakens, free-to-play, and whales at the same fucking time. Do it. Make Sham a fucking a profit, please.
Before we go on to someone else, I wanted to read what Lord Richter and Dave were saying. Lord Richter thinks that this has everything to do with profit margins. They blew off to Dinomac and have not recovered other high-end spenders. So I definitely can see that happening, or being the case. Dave says the best way to grow revenue is when especially when new customers can't happen, is to go back to your existing base. Yeah, that's definitely true. Lord Richter also thinks that they can't pay staff to work on Battle World or tokens. I think you mean moments, actually, Lord Richter, maybe. But he's saying this is the first summer where there's no new release of a new mode. So I guess I haven't really noticed that pattern, but yeah, it sucks that Battle World isn't here yet. Alright, so anybody else in the voice chat have anything to say? Want to voice their concerns?
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Flip.
No, you can go through.
So I didn't want to interrupt you, Sham, because I was really enjoying everything you were saying there. But I am a filthy whale now. I was free to play for 3 years, like 100%. But yeah, like I'm not someone to worry about. Like I will definitely be getting written regardless. Now I won't get him at the same level as like some of the freaking top end spenders and shit like that. But I will definitely like be doing what I do to unlock them. I don't think Juicy is. I think Pat is in the same boat I'm in, but I don't think Juicy's in that boat. People like Juicy, people like Purple Sticky, they spend very, very minimal. They spend like passes, and that's about it. They don't buy like any characters and shit.
Yeah.
Unless someone like gifts them, like occasionally, because on their streams, like people will go in and gift them the money specifically to buy certain characters specifically.
Yeah.
But that's not like a every single time thing. Now, as far as this goes, this kind of goes in line with kind of what they're doing, and then there's another, and I'll get into that in a sec. But if you think about what happened with Old Man Logan, though, it wasn't just the Cabal and Out of Time required. Like Spider Society had to be up there too, because it was that star level was required for that difficulty for every character that you take into there. So if you have nodes that are requiring Spider Society and your Spider Society aren't at that level, then you can't take Spider Society in there. And I think they're going to do the same thing with Alpha Flight. I think that there are going to be nodes where Alpha Flight's required, and you'll have to have them at certain star levels as well to further gate out free-to-play and cheap-to-play players. But at the same time, with this whole thing, I think that this is going to gate people out that don't spend from obtaining him the first time. I think the idea is that those players will be able to get this character the second time around. So you'll be sitting there for a few months or weeks or however long it takes them to run this trial again.
Yeah.
Building up your stars on your character, on your required characters. And then when you go in that second time around, then you unlock them, which sucks. I'm not saying that doesn't suck, and I'm not saying that this doesn't set a new precedent, but I think that's kind of what they're doing, and it kind of goes in line with what they've been doing over the past year and a half, since around the time Tadano left, and around the time Player's Voice started, which I like to shit on a lot. So shout out to me for shitting on Player's Voice all the time. But freaking, I try to blame everything I can on them, but. But if you look at like kind of the way everything's been going. Things have been getting nicer and nicer for spenders as far as getting like your money's worth and getting
Yep.
more things for what you're spending, and for free to play, as far as events go and as far as what you get and stuff like that. People get more for less effort, but less for more effort. So. Like if you're a free-to-play casual, they're trying to basically make all the free-to-plays casual and all the spenders more. You know, if you want to be competitive, you're a spender, and if you want to be competitive and you're not spending, then you need to start spending because you're going to be a fucking casual if you're free-to-play.
Right.
And that's kind of what I see the way this thing's going and what they're leaning into.
Right.
You know, you look at stuff like when they took away the orb events that we had. The orb events were like such a great way for free to play to get ahead. If you were a savvy free to play player, you skip this month and you do next month. You skip this month and you do next month. And then, there's not a team I like out this month. I'll skip 2 months and I'll do really fucking good month after that. And you could kill it and get like top 100 as a freaking free to play player, like 100% free to play player in those orb events. And everyone was complaining about them. Like the spenders were complaining about them, and the casual free-to-plays were complaining about them. And I think that's a lot of the voices that you hear from so-called free-to-play players and from actual free-to-play players, especially in like these voice movements and stuff like that. A lot of them are casual players. They're casual free-to-play players that either don't have an understanding of how to be competitive in it or don't care to be competitive in it. But, when you see free-to-play players bitching about Blitz events, like you they're not a competitive player. Blitz was like the best mode for free-to-play. That's something where I can grind my ass off that spenders just don't want to fucking do. So if you're a light spender, you probably hate Blitz because everyone hates Blitz, and you're like, fuck it, I'll buy like a cheap offer.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, me as a free-to-play, when I was free-to-play, I'd be like, fuck you, I'll grind the shit out of this, and I'll outdo that light spender.
Yep.
Because I'll grind this fucking... I'm blitzing in my fucking sleep, dude. I'm setting fucking alarm clock. I don't fucking sleep anyways, dude. Like, I am blitzing my ass off. Like, and I think that's kind of a lot of the way that things are going with this, and I think this just kind of falls in line with that, where they're going to make it so that you can unlock this character free to play, because they have really loosened the reins on how long it takes to get characters available. I'm not going to say like strictly farmable because there's a lot of fountainable shit.
Yeah.
But getting characters where you can get more stars on them down the road for free to play players.
Yeah.
And so, you're not going to unlock this legendary character the first time around.
Right.
But you'll unlock them the second time around.
Yep.
And if you look at Old Man Logan and the strength of him, like when I went through unrestricted in DD7, and people were saying that not only do you need Skrull and not only do you need APOC, but you need Skrull and APOC to get through these freaking unrestricted nodes.
Yeah.
And I didn't take either, and I took an Old Man Logan at 2.5 before the payouts were in, and I did better than a lot of the people that were taking both Skrull and APOC with a 2.5 freaking Old Man Logan.
Yep.
So I think they're starting to work towards having legendary characters really be legendary. So when you unlock that 3-star legendary character, that 3-star legendary character is better than most of the 7/7 or however many diamonds you got on most of your roster.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. Definitely agree.
So
I think
they feel about that.
I think they're starting to go back to how legendaries used to be. Like, if you think about like Black Bolt, when he first came out, he was insane, and everybody wanted him, but not as many people got him. Or actually, Omega Red was actually probably a really good example too. Like, not a lot of people got him the first round. I did, luckily. I barely did, but yeah, like everybody missing it, or not everybody, but a lot of people missing out on him. I think
Oh, yeah.
that's what this kind of feels like a little bit. Just a little bit more ramped up.
And H for H in their prime at that same time, and there was no other counter out there. Yeah, you
Yep.
could use Infinity Watch if you had Infinity Watch, but freaking Adam Warlock was not easy for a free-to-play player to unlock either.
Right.
And if you missed their events, if you weren't in the know, you wouldn't know when the event's coming up. The event comes up, it's like, hey, it's here for 5 days. Can you farm freaking 8,000 shards in 5 days? No. So now you're just waiting 3 months later for the freaking next time it comes up.
Yep.
And that's another 3 months where you're getting your ass beat day in, day out in freaking war because you cannot get through H for H no matter how many times you fucking go into it.
Yep.
And it's kind of, I think we're kind of just getting into the same concept there. And yeah, most free-to-play are not unlocking Omega Red the first time around. Most
Yeah.
free-to-play were not unlocking Adam Warlock the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? H for H was a thing,
Yep.
and good fucking luck.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I think this is just kind of like what you're saying, Updog. I think this is just kind of we're going back to those days, and
Yep.
it's not like this new thing. It's
Right.
something they've done before,
Yep.
and
It's just been a while, and people got used to how things were, and now it's changing, and people don't like change, so.
nope, and everybody didn't leave back then.
Yep. True.
There's still plenty of game to be played.
True. Yep.
So
Lint, what did you have for us? All right, go ahead, take it away.
Okay.
Oops.
I made this the other day. It's basically my opinions of MSF right now,
Might have to
and
talk louder or something.
so I made this the other day. It's basically my opinions of MSF right now, and the main subject on it was Illuminati.
Right.
I think that they could be a good team, and some of the reworks could have been better.
Yep.
Especially with Black Bolt and Iron Man. Yes, Pat, I did my homework. I'm a straight A student for a reason. Like I said, I get SoPlay needs to make money, and spenders should have an advantage, but free to play should be taken into consideration. Everyone is getting one shield for free,
Yep.
and them locking the rest of them behind strictly paying is, it's rude of them. It's fool of them.
Yeah.
To lock this meta character behind paying. Something they could do to try and fix this is right now keep them at, you need X amount of money right now to unlock him, and then in a couple weeks or a month they'll allow the krakens or whales or dolphins, whatever they call whoever will unlock him,
Right.
time to play with their new toy,
Right.
and then they can give free to play an option to get Captain Britain before he is required in the next Legendary
Yeah.
or in DD8.
Okay.
And how they could do it is maybe give one of the shields in the late store for X amount of currency. I think like 100,000 would be reasonable. I mean, we're getting so many, like the blocks. We're getting so many credits right now that I'm sitting on 500,000 and I have nothing to do with them. Just
Right.
everything I need.
Yep.
That maybe they could do one for an arena,
Mhm.
or the top 10,000 war alliances get them.
Right.
They could do so many other things to give out these shields instead of locking them strictly behind pain. They could put them in blitz, or they could put them in a milestone. There's multiple things they could do,
Mhm.
and that's my TED Talk.
All right. Yep. Thank you, Flint.
If they change this event, though, if they change what they're setting out here, what's your proposition for them to recoup the lost assets they would have got for doing it?
Like I said, they let them keep it for a month, and then by the time they are required for the next legendary, they release it for free to play. If that's in 2 months, if that's next week, I don't know. I'm sure only the envoys know right now.
Nope.
But I mean,
We have no idea when the legendary event's gonna be. We don't even know who the legendary is. We don't even know the team. We don't even know the next team after the Illuminati.
I mean, same thing with like Old Man Logan. Is after Old Man Logan, Out of Time became farmable. When people needed Out of Time for Old Man Logan. Old Man Logan is an interesting circumstance because he was not intended to be given out to this many players.
Right.
Doing the difficulty 10 with all the packs, that was not intended. When Mobile Gamers Chat figured that out, I think it was Nah who figured that out originally.
Yeah.
Loy was shocked by that in chat. I mean, that wasn't intended. This kind of feels like a little bit of a payback. That, like, screw free to play, like, you weren't supposed to get Old Man Logan. Like, we're gonna benefit. You're no longer benefiting. Like, difficulty 17, 10, same thing, Knight. I don't know.
Yeah, they were.
There's just multiple things they could do.
Well, so I did bring up the fact that, you know, since you are requiring these characters for legendary, you're gonna have to think about how you handle the farmability of the characters too. So they did really, like, they actually wrote that down, and they're like, all right, we are definitely gonna have to bring this up in our meeting. I don't know what we talked to them on Friday, so they probably won't talk about it until Monday, Tuesday this coming week here. But it's also a short week because of the holidays, so it's gonna be interesting how it all plays out.
Another thing that I didn't have in here that I meant to add before stream today was Zombie Iron Man took a year to become farmable.
Yep.
Zombie Juggernaut should be farmable soon because he was released a year ago.
Right.
Both of them have the epic tag, and in the blog it says that after the initial release he will be vaulted. We do not know how long he'll be vaulted for, so free to play might not get him for a whole nother year. Meaning for a year we're not able to unlock the next legendary.
Right.
Or do DD8 to get Professor X. We don't know.
Right.
They need to clarify like what this means.
I think the issue with them clarifying is that they don't even know.
Maybe they don't know, but they need to figure it out. Like...
Yep, that's part of the thing, part of the discussion we had. We're like, okay, if you guys don't know, that's fine, but you need to figure it out and at least communicate to us what the intention is, you know. So they're like, yeah, that's fair.
I will say this. I mean, I know it's kind of difficult for free to play to save a lot of cores right now, and it has been for a while. But that was something that I did when I was free to play, was that I would save up cores, and then when there was something that was really important for me, I would spend those cores on that character. Like I spent 20,000 cores on Dark Beast. When the day he came out.
Damn.
I'm not saying it's something that everybody can do.
Right.
There's only 2 characters that are quote-unquote new characters as far as what they've claimed are required for this to unlock Captain Britain.
Yeah.
That's not a lot.
Right.
So if you're a free-to-play player that's been around for a long, long time and you've been saving cores for a while, and I know it's probably very difficult with how many, with how much FOMO has been going on for so long now, and how many characters have been released that have been really good recently.
Yeah.
I know that's something that's really difficult, but it's not impossible. You know, it is possible that you might have a bunch of cores lying around. Maybe this is a team that's really important to you, and if it is really important to you, maybe you core those 2 characters, and hopefully it works out for you. You know.
Yep.
That may not be the case. You know, I might be completely wrong on this. But every character, you know, every team that came along wasn't very important to me. Generally speaking, if it wasn't like I didn't core freaking Darkhold, I didn't core, what was it, Gamma? I didn't core Unlimited. I would, I cored the Raid Horseman. That was when I looked at kids, I could see that Dark Beast was obviously like the next important to Archangel,
Yep.
just because of my knowledge of kids. I cored the living shit out of them.
Nice. Very nice. All right, so then Steven wanted me to read something that he wrote up real quick. And then, yeah, we'll do the last comments here before we wrap it up. So Steven said...
There's another topic to bring up.
Oh, boy. Well, Steven said that people need to stop blaming the MSF PV and Envoys. Boundless is probably not going to cave on Captain Britain, but there's only been one other time Boundless didn't cave in the last year, and that was the Old Man Logan Stargate. In both cases, they are testing spending depth and working on fixing their monetization model. So, in fairness to Boundless, they spent the last year making player-friendly changes and fixing pretty much everything else in the game except the Apoc Saga. They appeared to have saved tinkering with their monetization model for last. Players have gotten a lot of concessions and wins this past year. It's Boundless's turn to make some changes that benefit them. That said, the timing sucks to be doing this around Deadpool 3, and I think the way they are doing it is more predatory than I prefer. So, yeah, they always have the worst timing. Maybe not always, but a lot of the times they have really bad timing on things. But yeah, he's got a great point. Like, we have gotten a lot of good stuff as a player base in the past year. And yeah, maybe he's got a point that, maybe they were saving this kind of change for after most of those changes, the good changes for the player base had gone through. So, what was the last topic, Sham?
The people that did and did not get that calendar.
Oh, well, yeah. So that kind of see, Dave, I told you you'd agree with that, and I agree with it too. But so that kind of goes in hand with this, the timing part, right? So some people got a free calendar, login calendar. I didn't get it, but it gave like, I don't know, million gold and mega gold orb. Okay, Flint's got it on the screen here. So this calendar right here. Some people got it, some people didn't. Newer players got it, other newer players didn't get it. Flint's been playing like 600 days, he got it. Some people in my alliance got it, and they've been playing well over 600 days. I don't understand what happened there, but they haven't responded on that issue yet, but it kind of sucks that some people got it, some people didn't. They just need to be equitable, I feel like. So, waiting on yours still. Good luck, Jerry.
Yeah, I haven't gotten mine.
Yep. So,
I even messaged support about it, and I don't think they've gotten back to me. I can actually check.
Well, I shared a
Right
message from support that somebody else had gotten about it, and basically they said the same thing. They're like, some people did, some people didn't. So, it's just what happened. So.
It's life. Deal with it.
Yep, guess so. Yeah, support's not going to give it to them, because they just said, yeah, certain people got it and certain people didn't. Yeah, it's not that great of a calendar, but I think it's just in the spirit of everybody, or being fair, I guess. So, well, gentlemen, thanks for joining me in chat. Thanks for chipping in as well for the all the topics. Main one was the longest, which I knew was going to happen. So, yeah, that's all we got for you for this one. Until next time, make sure you spend those resources wisely. Listen to what my methods, Shams, and what Zero was talking about. And till the next one, we will catch you later.